That's not going to happen, though. That should never happen.
The only advice that I'm going off of here when it comes to how you should respond to active shooter situations is the advice that I was given when entering university.
You get as many drunk guys together as humanly possible, and you try to tackle the shooter, right? Is that what they told you in college, Vaush?
Should there ever be an active shooter? The advice for which is generally, and I don't know if this was just the advice that I was given in my university or if this is generalized advice, that you should hide, and if you cannot hide, you should fight. And that you should charge them with as many people as possible to put an end to the threat as quickly as possible, even if it might end up getting you killed.
It's so funny because, first of all, obviously comparing this situation to a school shooting is so fucking stupid that it's baffling that you would ever bring it up. Okay. Obviously, if you're at school and a random person with a gun starts shooting people, it's very clear that their motivation is just to kill people.
Yes, totally.
That's very clear. Okay. But even putting that aside, putting that completely aside, even in Vaush's own example, he's still wrong because he says they told us that the first thing you should do is try to hide. And if you can't hide, run. Well, look at the situation with Kyle. You're in the super wide open outside area with hundreds of people running around and there's buildings everywhere. You can fucking hide if you're fearful of this Kyle guy. He's running away.
Yeah, you're not trapped in a classroom. The whole situation with storming him is if you are trapped in a classroom without an escape route. Like there's a million escape routes everywhere around you. So the active shooter thing doesn't work. But it does, the thing that's interesting about that is it does give you a window into Vaush's mind. Like Vaush is conceptualizing this as a white supremacist active shooter, showed up at the peaceful protest with his AR to take out as many protesters as humanly possible. That's the way, that's the narrative that he's pushing with every single argument that he makes.
Yes.
And it's bogus. It's complete nonsense.
That's the information that I've been provided.
Sure. That advice is
I haven't turned on CNN for probably a year, and I turned on CNN because I was looking at these videos and kind of reading as much as I could on this story. And I did not have CNN on for more than 15 minutes when Don Lemon laid out the scenario that Vaush is basically putting forward.
Oh my God,
here.
are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Don Lemon said, and I even tweeted right when he said it, because I was so astounded that he would say such a thing. You know, a white man would shoot into a crowd of peaceful protesters because they have opinions that he disagrees with. That is the framing that Don Lemon gave this situation immediately. I mean, this is assets coming to light.
I hope Kyle sues Don Lemon and CNN for saying something so crazy like that.
I'm sure that clip isn't anywhere online, and it made me think: is there, Media Matters is obviously trash, but is there something equivalent that keeps an eye on CNN? Because they were doing a live show, and they were just, the shit they were throwing out there was weird, incorrect, and I would think established many of these narratives that people are still can't get off of. Confirmation bias is a terrible thing, because sometimes that confirmation bias comes just because it's the first thing that you heard. So they hear that narrative from Don Lemon early on in the situation, and that is the confirmation bias that they're going to be locked into.
Yeah, exactly.
True. Okay. But that hide or fight assumes that you're locked in a classroom with no retreat. So rather than stand in a corner and get butchered like sheep, then you fight, of course. But other than that, you always have.
Vaush has that. Oh yeah. oh yeah. Look. Oh yeah. Didn't think of that.
A moral duty to retreat. Even if you carry a gun, you have a duty to retreat. If you take a CCW class, this is something we'll talk about a lot, is that you have a duty to retreat as much as possible before brandishing a firearm or before using lethal force.
How can you talk about a moral duty to retreat when that guy was running and then he turned around to open fire on the person who threw a bag at him?
Because the guy...
What the fuck? This is so funny. They try to make it out like this, and I forget who it was. Someone else on Twitter said this to me too. They're like, he shot a man for throwing a bag at him. Okay, did they not see the video? He throws a bag at him, and then like a good 3 to 5 seconds continue where he's still chasing after him, and Kyle only turns around and shoots him when he's within grabbing distance of Kyle.
Yeah, and there's cars in front of him. It's like a narrow path. You can't necessarily escape. There's also a shot fired. They both pause in that video because there's a gunshot. They're both like, are we getting shot at? Like, but they both simultaneously pause. And supposedly you can see the gunshot. Someone fires in the air there. So like, who's that guy? Who fired that shot?
Well, isn't it funny too that Vaush is all like, well, what about the mindset of the guy that went after Kyle? Like his mindset of, look, maybe he thinks that this guy is an active shooter. It's like, well, what about Kyle's mindset? Okay, he's an 8 or 17-year-old being chased by a grown man with crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Who earlier was telling people to shoot him, and he's saying, fuck you. Like, as you said, he just heard a gunshot go off in the background.
Yeah. They don't know if they're shooting at him as he's running. You don't know if you're going to run into the next gunshot.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know where it's coming from, you're like, that shot was behind me. It is behind him. You can see the shot in the frame. So, yeah, this is crazy.
I already threw one thing and was continuing to chase him down. Maybe the guy was getting tired. Maybe he didn't feel like he could continue running. Maybe he didn't know if the guy was going to throw out or take out and throw something else at him. But he might have thought the guy threw a knife at him or stabbed him in the back.
But the guy who was, but what you're saying right now is that you believe that the person who was running had a right to turn around and shoot because he wasn't aware of the intentions of the person chasing him. Nobody who was chasing that guy knew the intentions of the person carrying the rifle. So I don't think this assumption of this unreliable assumption.
No. Hold on. You have to.
Yeah, he's running away. It seems like the intention, you know, just surface level here, is to get away.
Yep.
Think about this probabilistically. All self-defense is probabilistic, okay? You don't know if a guy coming up to you, if you're a woman, if he's trying to like wrestle you to the ground, you don't know if he's going to rape you. But we would never use this argument for a woman, right? Because there's a chance he could. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you sacrifice your autonomy to that person, right? So if this guy is running away from a dude who is chasing him, even after he's shown that he has a rifle, right? That guy probably doesn't want to sacrifice his autonomy to a guy that's proven that he's willing to attack him, even though that other guy has shown like he's brandished a rifle and shown lethal
this
intent.
is about optimal response strategies, not about morals. We can't expect average civilians.
You're pivoting away. Do you want to talk about optimal response, or do you want to talk about more? Because I'm talking about the moral justification.
I don't want to talk about optimal response. No, I don't expect the average person to be able to respond.
Then why did you bring it up?
Yeah, totally. They keep separate, and this is funny because we've argued over this a bazillion times, the law versus the morality, and they separate it out so many times it triggers me a bit. I'm not gonna, we're not gonna sidetrack here. I'm just saying, triggered.
Sure. So then let's stick to morals. Don't talk about optimal response.
I thought that's
morals,
what you were doing, though.
No, morality has probability assigned to it as well. There's a percentage chance that if you stop, that guy is going to take your firearm and kill you, or try to knock you out and kill you, or he could take out a knife and kill you. You don't know that. And the guy in the white shirt was continuing to chase him. He was aggressing while the guy with the rifle was retreating. So yeah, I think the guy retreating has a right to defend himself.
We don't know if a person retreating, just because we've seen it in 6 seconds of a video, necessarily means that that person posed no threat and that the person chasing them posed, the only threat. We're making a lot of
conjecture.
Wait,
You're the one making assumptions now.
No, I am making assumptions because how that incident started is very essential to understanding who was more in the right.
So this is a bullshit argument, and here's why. Okay, if Vaush's only position was, let's wait for more facts to come out, then this would be okay. And you say, okay, this is a fine argument. He's only saying, let's wait for more information. We don't know what happened before the video started. But that's not his fucking argument at all. At all.
His argument is, let's wait till my facts come out. Let's chill a little bit here and wait till I'm totally vindicated in my opinion on this.
Yes.
If your assumption,
really, no.
Well, do you believe then? But then your assumption then is even if the shooter was the one who initially brandished lethal intent, they would be justified in killing anyone who attempted to stop them.
If he's aggressing on other people, but he wasn't aggressing, he was retreating.
What if he
was running away?
What if he brandished a firearm or threatened somebody verbally or pointed a firearm at somebody or otherwise unlawfully brandished a firearm and then ran?
Wait, stop saying law. Stop saying law. We're talking morals. We're pivoting to so many different. So just focus on the moral part,
when I say unlawfully brandished, what I'm trying to clarify is that he wasn't brandishing it in response to a legitimate threat to his own person. He was pointing it to, I don't know.
So just said like aggressive.
Sure, okay.
That's fine. I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to make it clear. I don't think you're trying to make it a legal argument. I understand. Yeah, go ahead.
So aggressing upon other people, and then he runs off. You speak of probabilistic circumstances. The people who are chasing him have no idea whether or not he No idea whether or not he poses a threat to other people, whether he's just trying to...
So we have to use the reasonable person standard here, okay? Even under Vaush's ridiculous hypothetical situation, okay? So you say Kyle brandished his firearm in an aggressive manner, okay? When he starts to retreat, a reasonable person will think, well, this person is not going to shoot me. He's running away. I'm an unarmed person, and my simply going after him made him flee from the situation, right? Is that not a reasonable standard to think?
Yeah, he changed his mind. Look, he did a dumb thing, and now he changed his mind. Good, get out of here. I'm going home. There's crazy people out here.
Exactly, this idea that, like, well, this sex offender, pedophile guy, he couldn't read Kyle's mind. He didn't know what he was thinking. Therefore, that justifies him in engaging in a violent situation with him. Like, what kind of crazy argument is this?
Yeah, bizarre.
Around a corner. What's more, I don't know how much the morality of the action is necessarily tied to the individual's ability to process the probabilistic outcomes of what response they should take to the potential of an active shooter. Like, I just want to, because I don't expect an average...
He does it again. Active shooter. Active shooter. Active shooter.
Active shooter.
Active shooter. Active shooter is a word that casts Kyle as the aggressor. That's why they keep doing it. Because an active shooter is someone who's out there to shoot. They're out for blood.
Yes.
Average person to be very cognizant in the heat of the moment as to what the optimal decision is when it comes to a threat. But if a person...
Wait, stop. Are you talking optimal decision or morality?
So according to Wikipedia, the definition of an active shooter is a perpetrator of a type of mass murder marked by rapidity, scale, randomness, and often suicide.
Yeah. It doesn't seem...
None of these things apply in this situation.
We keep hopping around different. You have
said the morality of an action is in part determined by the extent to which your response to a situation is probabilistically justified, given the threat posed to you, right?
Yeah, but I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much of a connection there is there.
Okay, if a person is aggressing on you, okay, they could kill you. They might not, but they could. That's all I'm saying. That's the only problem. I'm not saying that it's up to a citizen to probabilistically weigh blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying that if you're retreating, somebody is running up to you, right? There's a chance that that person could kill you. If you've shown like lethal intent and that guy's still charging you, like, holy fuck, seems like this guy wants to fight to the death. I think that's a fair assumption. So if that guy's running away and another dude is chasing, it's absolutely a...
Look at Vaush. He's like, no, what? Come on. Fair assumption? What? No.
This is why this conversation is so insane. It's like if I'm open carrying and a person starts to chase me, okay, any reasonable person is going to think
this
that
guy's
the person
insane.
chasing me, is insane or is willing to engage in a life or death battle, especially if that person's a stranger. Okay,
totally. Yeah,
because
what the hell?
You're displaying the fact that you have the lethal means to kill them, and it doesn't deter them at all. That's not a good sign. Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're thinking this is over. This is life or death.
Fair assumption. Ask anybody that's any like it's. I actually question if you're operating in good faith, if you actually want to challenge that assertion. We can talk about that in more detail.
Do you believe the act of open carrying means that you have a lower bar that justifies lethal engagement with other people?
He's so triggered by the open carry. He sees that as basically like this Kyle's mortal sin that he was there open carrying. So,
well, and also he does this, like, this is an interesting like debate tactic, sneaky debate tactic is the way he frames this. He's like, well, if you're open carrying, does that lower your responsibility of using lethal force? It's like, no. But it changes the context and the situation of how people interact with you.
Totally.
Okay?
Yeah.
100%. And if you don't acknowledge that, then you're not arguing in good faith.
Yeah, exactly.